Hi everyone, John with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the CURT Premium 4 hanging style bike rack on our 2020 Hyundai Palisade. Now this is a great bike rack if you want to take the entire family out onto the trail, mostly because of its design where it comes in a little bit closer at the end. This is going to be great for your kids' bikes, and at the end you can obviously put your more normal sized bikes. But overall it is going to have a weight capacity of 180 pounds, so you're going to be able to have bikes up to a specific point evenly distributed. If you have heavier bikes, I recommend putting them towards the back whenever you do put them on. Now, as you can see with our bike on here, there is going to be some obstruction whenever you're driving. The back windshield is going to be relatively able to be seen through, but for the most part, you're going to have to worry about your two lights, your license plate, and then your backup camera. For the most part, it shouldn't affect you too much, especially with the lights, but it's just something to keep in mind. It is being held down in 3 different places. These straps are going to hold them in place. I'll be honest, they aren't the greatest straps, especially for the anti-sway. As you can see right here, it, for the most part, holds it in place. It's still going to move back and forth, but as I take that off, you can see a lot more sway. So it does do its job. I just think I've noticed a lot more effective anti-sway mechanisms than what we have on here. Though I will say it is easy to lift the bikes up off of the CURT bike rack and get them on the road. Now taking a closer look at the handles that hold your bike in place, you can see these ridges. These are going to be great for whenever you have your brake line, so you don't have to worry about them getting messed up. You can turn these depending on what your bike frame is like, so you can best fit it. I do recommend whenever you're finished having your bikes on here that you just take the straps and tighten them down. Now, something to keep in mind whenever you're backing up into an area or trying to park is you are going to have some added length to the back of your vehicle. Now let's take a look on how much is added from the back of our Palisade to the back of our CURT is about 38 inches. That's something to keep in mind whenever you're backing up, so you don't have to worry about running into anything. Now, there is a way to mitigate some of this, and we're going to tilt it down and show you. The tilt down feature is very easy to use. All you have to do is pop this out, pull out the pin, let it down, and then I always recommend putting that pin back in right away. And then pop it in like that, and that significantly brings down the amount of area that you have coming from the back of your Palisade to the back of your CURT. Let's check that. That's going to be about 12 inches. So that brings down a lot of space, and you're not going to have to worry about running into things as much. So another measurement to keep in mind is the closest point. It's going to be from this little knob here. It's going to be about 4.5 inches. So it's not going to get any closer. You don't have to worry about it coming any closer. Though, another thing to keep in mind is your ground clearance. Now, your ground clearance is going to be important whenever you're going up steep hills or you're on rocky terrain, because whenever your front goes up, your back is going to go down. Now, this is a pretty straight out with the shank, so let's see. You're going to get about 10.5 inches, so that's something to keep in mind whenever you're on more uneven terrain. Now, another feature of the CURT that I really enjoy is the tilt-away. Now, it's a little bit more in depth whenever you're taking it apart, so let me take you back here. As you can see, there's a couple of different notches that we have to go through and little levers. So first, we're going to undo this little screw here until we can see that it's moving around. Then we're going to pull up this lever. Oh, and see, we forgot one little part. We're going to have to pop out this pin. Make sure that's out, then pull the lever. As you can see, it comes down, and from there we can open up our back. That gives us more than enough room. We can grab our helmets, our waters. You don't have to really worry about anything else with that. And once you close it, you can just pop this back into place and then tighten everything back down. Now, as you can see, it doesn't take up a ton of space in your backup, but The sound is something to keep in mind. It's going to be very distracting whenever you're backing up hearing that. So that is something that is an unfortunate side effect of having it in this position. Now taking a closer look at the shank, as we can see, this is in for a 2-inch hitch. It is being held in place by an anti-rattle bolt and a pin. And this is going to do a great job of cutting down any shake. As you can see, whenever I'm shaking it back and forth, it's basically just shaking the Palisade. We don't have to worry about any overextending of it shaking. That's going to protect your bikes much more than if it was not using that anti-rattle mechanism. Now my final thoughts on the CURT Premium bike rack is it's a great bike rack, especially for families, and you can see that it's definitely designed for families. As it goes down to the bottom, this is more for children's bikes. If you're looking for something that has a little bit more versatility in general, I recommend going with the Yakima Ridgeback. But if you have a family, and let's say you have 5 bikes that you need to take, you can actually get a 5-bike version of this, but it does its job well, it's reliable, so I definitely recommend it if you want to take them out for a ride. And that was a look at our CURT Premium hanging style 4 bike rack on our 2020 Hyundai Palisade. My name's John, have a good one.